You have the right to watch Lynxx 24, connecting you to the community.
Welcome to your Hometown News. I'm April Frelke with my co-host Charity Seebecker. We start our program with an update from Mark Scotch on the Oregon Trail. And for those who don't know Mark's story, a man walks into a microbrewery, and when he leaves a short time later, he's already on a mission to donate a kidney to a man he's just met. Little did he know that this experience would change not only his life, but also the lives of 2 additional people waiting kidney transplants. Mark, you are that donor, and the Oregon Trail was a bicycle ride to Louisiana. Welcome to the Hometown News. We're excited to have you this evening.
Oh, hi. Thank you for having me.
So, can I ask, how did the bike ride go? Can you tell us a little bit about the Oregon Trail experience?
Well, the ride itself went really well. It went off pretty much as planned. I spent it was 24 days on the road from April 24th to May 17th, I believe we got in. Of those days, I rode 17 to 18 days. So I took 5 days off, basically, from Madison to Natchitoches, Louisiana.
And Mark, with that ride, you met after what, it was 1,500 miles, is that right, for the ride?
Somewhere around 1450, something like that, 1460.
And at that,
I don't have a speedometer. I don't keep track.
And what was it like at the end of your experience meeting Hugh? Is that the name of the person you donated your kidney to?
Yes. The ride was really twofold. One was to ride to see Hugh again. I had met him once before that, of course, when we first met at the microbrewery. So, but we had talked 2-3 times a week for almost a year. So, up until before the ride, I had donated my kidney and I was doing fine. And Hugh had received a kidney February 18th, and he was doing fine. So, I mean, besides the excitement of seeing Hugh and finishing the ride and having the party afterwards, that part of the ride went as expected. The main part of the ride, of course, was trying to create awareness of the dire need for living donors. I mean, that's really where the whole ride came from, was the fact that when I started looking into it, I learned, and my wife and I both learned, that, for example, only 3 out of 1,000 people that die in such a way that their organs can be used. People that are signed up as deceased donors, like on your driver's license. So that was such a low number. And I think really for us, really what prompted the ride and the whole thing was the fact that we learned that 13 people die every day in the United States because of lack of kidney transplants. And we just wanted to get that out to as many people as we could.
Wow. That's very eye-opening. I'm glad you shared that with us. I guess when you put it into perspective like that, it really makes you think, and it really brings that awareness, like you said. But can I ask, so on this ride then, so you donated this kidney and had the surgery before you went on the bike ride, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Okay.
My surgery was September 30th, yep. And my kidney went to a person in New York.
Okay.
At the time I donated my kidney, Hugh wasn't fully registered on the National Kidney Registry. And when we found out about what's called the voucher program, we actually preferred that when I had my surgery, it would go to the best fit. Hugh, we found out, really wasn't my best fit. So it's really important from the recipient's point of view to get the best kidney available that fits them because of the whole rejection thing. So my kidney went to New York, and when Hugh was ready to have his surgery on February 18th, he received a kidney from Southern California. So we pretty much covered the whole nation in that little exercise.
Wow.
And Mark, I know you just started to talk about the voucher. So can you just maybe explain that to our viewers, how that works then? That Hugh, does he move up on a list or something because you've named him? Something like, can you explain that?
Yes, the voucher program is unique to the National Kidney Registry. Not all transplant facilities take advantage of that. So what that does, it allows people that aren't matched or they don't have to know each other or anything like that. And because I named Hugh, like he said, as my voucher recipient, that moved him to the top of the National Kidney Registry.
Wow. That's very cool that you can do that. Like you said, to help people out like that, that's really making a difference. So I commend you a lot for that. While you were on this ride, you know, I'm guessing it was a little bit different having one kidney, maybe not. Can you tell me, how did it feel? Did it feel any different than like a normal bike ride day to day if you had two?
No, actually it didn't. I really didn't change much of what I did. I tried to drink a little more water, but I was going to anyway because of the fact that I've never gone on a bike ride this long. The first 4 days from Madison down to Hannibal, I believe, we were averaging 100 miles a day or better. So when I say we, some of my friends joined me for part of the ride. So we were having to be very cautious anyway to keep hydrated and things like that. But for me personally, it hasn't changed anything in my life. For example, last weekend, just last Saturday, I went up to Cable, Wisconsin, and did a 100-mile mountain bike race, which is quite a bit more strenuous. And there was only 2 water stops on the whole race, and I carried enough water. But I just wanted to see if I could do it. The last time I did it was a few years ago, and so I just went up there and did it again. And I got through it fine.
And Mark, having gone, now that you've had that bike ride in addition to the Oregon Trail, would you give a different message to anybody, or would you add to the message of living donors after you had the experience of like you living with just one kidney?
There really isn't much different. It really doesn't affect the healthy donor because nobody's going to be allowed to donate their kidney as a living donor, especially to a stranger or what they call non-directed, if you're not in almost perfect health. So, basically you go into surgery as a donor in very good health, and you come out in very good health. You're minus a kidney, but you're not in suffering in any way, basically, like most people that have surgery. So you come out of it pretty good.
So what do you want people to understand, after you're donating your kidney and making that journey? What is that message that you really want people to hit home and remember from this experience that you've had?
Well, kind of like what I started with, the fact that there is such a dire need for living donors for kidney and liver, both, but kidney is the primary one. I say 13 people die every day in this country, and really, I'm not sure there's a need for it. The solution is out there. It's people like us just walking the street. And, it's something that most of us can at least get evaluated to find out. I mean, 1 out of 750 people are born with one kidney. So basically those people are not eligible. They might be in perfect health, but what I try to tell people that are somewhat interested, I said, don't think about whether you want to be a donor or not. Just go get evaluated. Go through the process. See if you're healthy enough. See if you actually can do it. And then once it's determined medically that you're physically able to, then a person can actually start thinking about, well, do I really want to do this? And I tell people, they were rolling me down the hallway in the hospital to have surgery, and they were telling me, hey, you can still say no here. You can still stop this thing right now if you want to. So they're very conscious of the donor and giving them an opportunity to change their mind. But I would encourage anybody who's curious at all to at least go get evaluated. That way you'll know whether that decision has to be made that you want to be a donor or not.
I think it's so interesting, your comment about how many people are born with only one kidney. Mm-hmm. And you wouldn't even know unless you had, an ultrasound or somehow learned through an examination whether you had a kidney,
mm-hmm.
How many kidneys you really have.
Right. And that's what really prompted me to go through with this. It's like, my wife is going to become a donor as well. And she went through my evaluation and my process. She was like, this makes total sense. Why don't I do this too? So she's actually been evaluated as well. So I mean, there's a lot of people that are out there with one kidney, not even knowing it, that are living a perfectly normal life. And You know, as a donor, I don't know of anybody, a living donor, that really has run into a lot of trouble. I mean, I'm sure there's something out there, but you know, you like I said, they check you out pretty close. It's probably the best physical I ever had, was to determine if I could become a living donor.
Well, thank you for being with us today. It's very eye-opening, and I really enjoyed getting to learn a little bit more from you. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Catering for the cast and crew has been provided by Strike Zone and Pizzones in Tomah. Great food with fun for the whole family. Health Check 360 is next, but first, we want to thank our sponsors.
Your hometown news is brought to you by Oakdale Credit Union, Hardware Hank in New Lisbon, The Fun Company, Game Room, and the Little Cottage Home Decor and more in New Lisbon.
It's been a long day.
Mom, what's for dinner?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
I really don't feel like cooking, so...
The best pizza? Look at that crust and cheese. Amazing burgers and steaks. Just the way I like it. Food the whole family loves. That's our specialty. And don't forget, 12 lanes of bowling fun and a huge game room. Rain or shine, always a great time. Strike Zone and Pizzones in Tomah. Hardware Hank knows you have projects. Lots of important projects. From paint to plumbing, electrical, and yard maintenance. We have the area's largest selection of Milwaukee tools. Hey, it's what the pros use. We even have an in-store chainsaw sharpening service. It's time to build your property's value with Hardware Hank New Lisbon.
You've got a lot more going for you with Hank, Hardware Hank.
The Oakdale Credit Union has spent decades serving Oakdale, Mauston, and Reedsburg. From comprehensive financial services to reliable mortgage loans, we strive to provide unparalleled care.
I like the warm and friendly atmosphere each and every time I come in. The staff is very knowledgeable and truly cares about its members.
Come and learn more about the Oakdale Credit Union, where we treat you like a member of the family.
At Tomah Health, our accredited sleep services diagnose and treat sleep disorders so you can get the rest you deserve.
I came to Tomah Health Sleep Services because I was exhausted during the day.
And treating people with sleep disorders, I feel like I can really help them, and it really makes a difference in their life.
I would highly recommend Tomah Health Sleep Services.
Visit Tomah Health Sleep Services for a better night's sleep.
This hot tub is so relaxing. The stress of the week just melts away.
Hanging out with friends is fun.
And we have so many reasons to get together.
My Traeger grill is the difference between a good
and an amazing barbecue.
The Fun Company Game Room Store
is where the fun begins.
You're watching Lynxx 24, connecting you to the community. Wisconsin Health Cooperative, the RWHC, has been providing affordable and effective services to healthcare organizations since 1979. RWHC is owned and operated by 43 rural acute general medical surgical hospitals, including Tomah Health, right here in Tomah. It is a pleasure to welcome virtually the Executive Director of the Cooperative, Tim Size. Welcome, Tim. Thanks for joining us on the Hometown News.
Thanks for having me.
Well, Tim, can you tell us a little bit more about the Cooperative and how it works with hospitals like Tomah Health?
Very happy to. We were founded by 5 rural hospitals in southwestern Wisconsin in order to explore the opportunities of working together. Our bylaws were borrowed from a dairy cooperative. We crossed out the word dairy and wrote in hospital. We were then and are now very careful with the dollars we spend. But we work just like an agricultural co-op in terms of the hospitals controlling what we do. Our first office was one room in what had been a dormitory for nurses in Dodgeville. A couple of years later, as the cooperative's membership grew north and east, we moved to Sauk City, where our offices and training center remain today. A couple of weeks after I was hired as the co-op's first employee, there was a proposal from a federally funded health planning council to close or merge most rural hospitals in southern Wisconsin. Once people in our local communities learned about that proposal, it was quickly defeated. From that day on, speaking up on behalf of rural healthcare has been central to the co-op's mission, and it's work I love doing, and it's a privilege to do.
Sounds like you've been an anchor for them. You've been there historically really involved a long time, Tim.
Yeah, it's rare, I guess, that someone gets to work in the same job for 40 years, and I love it as much today as I did then.
You can tell that you're very passionate about it, which is great to see. WRHC has maintained a philosophy of bigger isn't better, better is better. So can you tell us about rural health and its role in the healthcare across Wisconsin?
I'm very happy to. Just like across all of rural America, rural health provides local life-saving care. A local emergency room can mean the difference in life and death. Having quality emergency services can also help the town attract businesses, industries, and increasingly retirees. Rural health provides specialty and primary care close to home. Without local rural health care, many of the over 1.5 million people who call rural Wisconsin home would need to face long drives and time away from work, with many elders depending on others for that transportation. Rural health provides personalized care. Healthcare is a very personal experience, and the compassion of neighbors taking care of neighbors, combined with local state-of-the-art technology, is what makes rural health special. Also, though, I want to add, rural health is critical to the rural economy and the health of the people that depend on its jobs and income. Hospitals are large drivers of rural economic activity, and continuing to deliver care in rural settings has far-reaching economic impacts that cannot be overlooked. An average rural hospital generates 170 jobs, 7.1 million in salaries, wages, benefits, and every dollar spent by a hospital supports over $2 of additional local business activity.
That is a really significant economic impact then for those rural communities, Tim.
Very much so.
Well, your mission focuses on being the rural advocate of choice for your members. What is your current top advocacy challenge right now for rural health, Tim?
Well, our current biggest challenge, we have a lot of them, which I could spend all evening talking about, but I know we only have a few minutes. But our current biggest challenge is unchanged for the last year and a half, and that's to reduce the harm of the COVID virus to people's health and to our local economies. The new Delta variant of COVID, which some of you may have been hearing about, now accounts for about 20% of U.S. cases and is doubling every 2 weeks. That means it's going to be the dominant virus across the country, including Wisconsin, within the next month or two. This virus is much more contagious and more dangerous than earlier variants. It's likely to become dominant, as I said, but the implication is the outbreaks this fall, with individuals unvaccinated the most at risk. The good news is that if you're fully vaccinated, our experience to date suggests you remain protected, that the vaccines are doing their job. In Wisconsin, we need about 4 of every 5 people around the state to be vaccinated or who have had COVID to substantially limit the risk of new outbreaks. In rural Wisconsin, that means we need 500,000 more people to be vaccinated. And that sounds like a lot of shots in arms, but for the average rural county, that means about 200 people per week over the next year. That is doable if we have the will. Examples of helpful messages we need from trusted local leaders include that the vaccines are nearly 100% effective at preventing hospitalization and death. And although the vaccines are new, scientists have been working on the technology used to make them for the last 20 years. And the vast majority of doctors and nurses have asked to be and are vaccinated.
Wow.
I think it's an important issue. I know not everyone agrees with me, and I just hope folks seek the information they need to feel comfortable if they haven't yet been vaccinated.
Well, and it's nice to have that information available to those who may need it. Healthy hospitals lead to healthy communities. How can residents help to ensure quality health care options remain viable for rural communities like Tomah?
For most of us in rural healthcare, 2020 was the most challenging year we have ever faced. And as you can see, I've been doing this work for a long time, and it's by far the most challenging year and a half I've ever had working in rural health. But most commercial insurers reported record profits for the full year of 2020 because their members could not or did not visit the hospital or see their physicians at usual levels. It's really a mystery to me why some insurers are now choosing this time to come down so hard on rural healthcare. In any event, these behaviors have led the Cooperative to establish a set of expectations for health insurers, which will drive our advocacy and is driving our advocacy. We need all employers, including government and school districts, to pick health insurance for their employees that assures that they can readily get care locally. Rural-friendly insurers don't steer care away from the local hospital. All services that can be provided locally are covered by such an insurer. When health insurers deny care to the local community, it's important that all of us exercise our rights to file a complaint with the Office of the Commissioner of Insurance in Madison. This is easy to do online, and if anyone needs help doing that, I'm sure they can ask Toma Health if they need help or email me at the Cooperative. Medicare, Medicaid, and commercial insurers need to reimburse the real cost of efficient rural health care, or we just simply will not have it. In turn, as rural hospitals, we know that we need to step outside of our four walls to partner with the local community to do both community and economic development initiatives like broadband, like housing, like transportation. Hospitals can't be responsible for it. They can't do it all, but we need to partner with the rest of the community to deal with those important issues. We know that as hospitals, we can only be as strong as our local communities. I need to remind everyone that the future of rural hospitals is up to all of us. 40% of all rural hospitals in the country today are either at immediate or high risk of closure. That percentage is significantly lower in Wisconsin, but it'd be foolish for Wisconsin to assume we are immune from these trends.
Well, Tim, thank you so much for taking time to be with Charity and I this evening, and good luck with all of your challenges, and thank you for your dedication to rural health. Thank you.
Thanks for talking to me.
Well, up next, we have a preview of the Toma Tractor Pull and a local fair. Stay tuned.
Thanks, Tim. Appreciate
Thanks. I hope that worked for you.
Relaxing.
Great. We'll be
There, yeah, shortens our discussion.
Just
Yeah, right.
melts away.
giving it over to Eric Price at the hospital. Hanging out with friends he'll be is seeing it fun. coming up.
And we have so
Okay,
many
and
reasons to
we'll
get
do
together.
a link from our website and get it out there.
My Traeger grill is the difference between a good
And an amazing barbecue.
The Fun Company Game Room Store
Is where the fun begins.
It's been a long day.
Mom, what's for dinner?
Yeah, I'm hungry. I really don't feel like cooking, so...
Croissant!
The best pizza. Look at that crust and cheese. Amazing burgers and steaks. Just the way I like it. Food the whole family loves. That's our specialty. And don't forget, 12 lanes of bowling fun and a huge game room. Rain or shine, always a great time. Strike Zone at Pizzone's in Toma.
What's the more in the little cottage home decor and more? Fashion. Shopping is fun at the little cottage. Update your look and discover more at the Little Cottage Home Decor and More, New Lisbon.
The Oakdale Credit Union has spent decades serving Oakdale, Mauston, and Reedsburg. From comprehensive financial services to reliable mortgage loans, we strive to provide unparalleled care.
I like the warm and friendly atmosphere each and every time I come in. The staff is very knowledgeable and truly cares about its members.
Come and learn more about the Oakdale Credit Union, where we treat you like a member of the family.
Hardware Hank knows you have projects. Lots of important projects. From paint to plumbing, electrical, and yard maintenance. We have the area's largest selection of Milwaukee tools. Hey, it's what the pros use. We even have an in-store chainsaw sharpening service. It's time to build your property's value with Hardware Hank New Lisbon.
You've got a lot more going for you with Hank, Hardware Hank.
At Toma Health, our accredited sleep services diagnose and treat sleep disorders so you can get the rest you deserve.
I came to Toma Health Sleep Services because I was exhausted during the day
And treating people with sleep disorders, I feel like I can really help them, and it really makes a difference in their life.
I would highly recommend Toma Health Sleep Services.
Visit Toma Health Sleep Services for a better night's sleep.
You're watching Lynxx 24, connecting you to the community.
Welcome back. The Toma tractor pull has started tonight and will continue Friday and Saturday. We have a little video to kind of spark your interest for what's going on.
Welcome everyone to Toma, Wisconsin. For many of us, this is one of the favorite places we like to come. For many competitors, it's a favorite place they like to compete at and win. And for those of you that don't fit those two categories, it's home. So thank you for being gracious hosts no matter who you serve and where you serve. We appreciate being invited back year after year to Toma, Wisconsin, the Budweiser Dairyland Super Nationals.
It's wonderful to have everybody here. Again, I've been sitting here trying to think, how do you not sound cliche considering the last year, I should say, but really just being here is a win right now for us. So any pull that happens this weekend is a full pull, so cliche, but it's a wonderful pull because of the fact that you overcome. Everybody that worked so hard to put this together, pat yourselves on the back. Take a minute this weekend. It's going to be an extremely busy weekend, but take a minute to just kind of step back and realize what was taken away from you last year and how quickly it could be taken away, and how fortunate we are to have something like this happening in the greatest nation on the planet.
Well, that was a nice little video, April. I don't know. Have you ever been to the Toma tractor pull or tractor pull in general?
I have never been to the national because this is the national right in Toma. Yep. I feel like I've been to a tractor pull maybe once.
Okay.
When my son Luke was little and we were at a fair, but I can't remember. I know I've been to what are those derbies where they crash the cars?
The demo derbies?
Yes, I've been to those.
Okay. Little different.
Way different. Super way different, right?
Yes.
And we're sitting in studio, folks, and our camera crew can actually hear those tractors out in the fairgrounds right now, and we're in a building.
Yeah, that's
just
loud. They are very. So if you do plan on going, take the time to go with your family. But if you have young ones, or even for you, I would definitely recommend some headphones because they can get pretty loud.
And just to remind our viewers, too, that all the food, the vendors, and some of the live music is free.
Yep.
Like what you call that, the
midway.
The midway.
Yep.
And go get some food, and you can hear everything. But to get into the tractor pull, you need to. That's a cost.
Yep.
That's a fee.
Yep. It's $24 for the ticket. But speaking of some other events that are coming up, starting today was the Elroy Fair, and that goes until Sunday in Elroy, Wisconsin.
And it's the first fair of the year. Is that or the fair season, Charity?
Yep. So it's the very first county fair in Wisconsin to kick off the fair season. And then everything's going to keep going full spin. But some kind of exciting things for that is
what's happening at the Elroy Fair?
They have Aaron Scott playing tomorrow, and it's free. It's a free concert, which is huge. Wow. And then on Saturday, they have Bruce City Wrestling. So maybe there's going to be some sport fans that want to come and interact. I'm not sure. I've never seen it, but it's something new. So why not go and check it out? And then on Sunday is the official Juneau County Dairy Breakfast. And that's $5, and 12 and under are free. So I really encourage all of our viewers to get out there and, enjoy the Elroy Fair if they can, or even just go get some good dairy products that day.
And the kids in that area are going to be showing their
animals.
Their animals. Yes. What am I trying? What are they showing?
Yep.
But they're doing their fair entries.
Yes. Yep. So they're showcasing all of their hard work.
Yeah, lots of fairs this summer. Well, we want to thank you for joining our Hometown News, where we're connecting you to the community.